The NFL trade deadline comes up in just a couple of hours. Kareem Hunt seems to be the name that is thrown out there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Will the move happen? Let's find out right now. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome into the Thomas Mott Show on a Tuesday, a couple of days before Thursday Night Football, Eagles versus Texans, but the main focus is the NFL trade deadline, where Philadelphia is at, and will they make a move at some point. Now, you might watch this video, they might have already made a move, or you're watching it after the 4 p.m. deadline, and they didn't make a move, and so obviously I will have plenty of updates and coverage here on the Thomas Mott Show if there is a move done. We jump right into the Kareem Hunt situation, a name that's been thrown around a ton across the league, and it seems like after a good performance against the Bengals last night, this is your last chance to go ahead and grab a running back or really make any other trade if you are the Philadelphia Eagles. And Kareem Hunt was talking about it to the media last night, and there are updates regarding the fact that Philadelphia might, or at least actively, trying to go ahead and get this deal done. So we go here to SI.com. A couple of quick things here in terms of what happened with Kareem Hunt. Here's what he said after the Monday Night Football win, 32-13. He said, quote, I'm down for whatever, man. I'm a football player. This is a business. I'm ready to do whatever they decide with me. That's either go somewhere else or here. Anything, it don't matter. I love the game of football, said Hunt, who must also love being the Joker on Halloween, given that he conducted his post-game interview in his Batman-related masks. Then they say October 31st, Hunt to the NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles, according to a volume of rumors, are interested in Cleveland Brown running back Kareem Hunt. It's been suggested that the Browns would move the former NFL rushing champ and their backup runner for maybe just a fourth-round pick, and that Hunt would serve in Philly as a backup to Miles Sanders. NFL insider Jay Glazor has noted that he could see the Eagles trading for a running back, which adds credence, if not logic, to the rumor, assuming part of the reason for Hunt's unhappiness in Cleveland is that he's the caddy to starter Nick Chubb. Why would he be happy as Sanders' backup? Say this about Philadelphia, though. At 7-0, the roster that has been built is the product of many, many right moves, end quote. And so you get a little bit of a look there in terms of what it could potentially take to get Kareem Hunt. We've mentioned the fourth-round draft pick and that there is some legit reporting. You see Jay Glazor being mentioned there as well. More on Hunt here in just one second. I do want to mention some other rumors. Brandon Cooks potentially being an option for Dallas, as SI.com talks about that here on your screen. Quote, would he help Dallas or another contending team? No doubt. They take the top off vet succeeding in Houston, and 7 starts this year. 29-year-old has 32 catches, 354 yards, and 1 touchdown, despite tricky quarterback play. He's a perennial 1,000-yard guy, and his name has now been popped up in 2 media spots, in Dallas and in New York. Are the Cowboys really interested in spending what it takes here? And so, again, this is looking at the rest of the NFC. Maybe Hunt to Philadelphia. A receiver could go to either the Giants or the Cowboys because, as Stephen Jones has hinted, his dad and I guess head GM Jerry Jones has mentioned that they have an itch and that there's the risk-taker mentality of Jerry Jones could mean there could be a trade into the NFC East with their divisional rival and the Dallas Cowboys for possibly a wide receiver. Okay, over here, a little bit more on Kareem Hunt and possibly Nyheim Hines, as NJ.com has a good write-up. You see it on your screen right now talking about the trade deadline. Here are the latest rumors as of early this morning. They mentioned a couple of names that would go ahead and make sense for Philadelphia in terms of 2. Let's just say that. Quote, Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman will leave no stone unturned with his team still on the path to perfection. Eagles reportedly inquired about Christian McCaffrey before the Panthers traded him to San Francisco. Roseman still wants to add a running back. There's a new name on the market. ESPN Adam Schefter reports teams have reached out to Colts inquired about trading for a running back, wide receiver, punt returner, Nyheim Hines, per sources. PFF focus Doug Kyde reports 2 top teams have shown the most interest in Colts running back Nyheim Hines before the trade deadline. And of course, Kareem Hunt a little bit later on here was also mentioned as a potential trade as well. So you get Nyheim Hines thrown into the mix here. More of a true backup running back coming over from Indianapolis, but also a good punt returner who would make sense for Philadelphia, as that's one of their really remaining needs right now on the team, as Covey has not been able to go ahead and give them anything special from a punt return standpoint. So you get a fresh name thrown in here, not as sexy as a Kareem Hunt name, but a name that would be a lot cheaper and with a team you have familiarity with in terms of trades, right? Frank Reich being the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, the Carson Wentz trade a couple of years ago. There's some, good blood there between AFC and NFC teams, and so maybe Hines is an option as a punt returner before the before the 4 p.m. Eastern time deadline. Now, Kareem Hunt is getting a lot of love right now in terms of what people are saying in Philadelphia. A lot of people are big fans of his in terms of what he's able to do from a running perspective. It is important to note he would be the backup to Sanders. Sanders is a better running back, but I think you could really play it as a 1A, 1B type situation where Sanders is your main focus, but Hunt can be kind of a short yardage power back. I know he's not as big as like a David Montgomery. He still is very physical and very capable of getting those tough yardage and having a really powerful run up the A and B gaps. He's only been rushed 77 times so far this year, which is a lot more than where he was at the same point last year, right around that point. But I do think that he has the fresh legs, and being a backup to Nick Chubb means he could come in and understand his role in Philadelphia. Would he be happy? It's a different question, because obviously you're going to have to go ahead and still, share the load. You're never going to be a feature running back anywhere in the National Football League these days. But I do think Hunt makes a lot of sense and could be a really good target for the Philadelphia Eagles, despite the fact that they do have Kenny Gainwell, who's in year 2, and obviously Boston Scott there as your number 3 running back. We'll look at that here in just one second, including our National League story of the day, some other NFL trade stuff, mainly looking at, of course, the NFL power rankings from what was a crazy Week 8 in the NFL. First, though, we're getting a lot of people who are starting to go ahead and join in on the sports betting game using my new sports links with PointsBet or Caesars, and people trying to go ahead and get the one A.J. Brown jersey I'm sending to one of the first 25 who are new users for PointsBet or for Caesars. Very, very simple. I had a couple of these guys yesterday, so these spots are filling up. Jump in on this opportunity. Here's how you do it. You must be 21 years or older and live in a legal sports betting state. Sorry, that excludes a lot of people, but of course, you got to live in a legal sports betting state. Must be creating a PointsBet or Caesars account for the first time. You have to be a first-time signer-upper, if that's a word, for either of the 2 links that you see down below in the description box. Create a link using the links, and then place a bet using that new account, and then just send me proof. A lot of people just forwarding me their sign-up email, and then sending me a screenshot of the bet slip that they placed, and then you could be one of the 21 of the first 25 who are in on a potential A.J. Brown jersey. So I'm going to pick one of you guys here in the next couple of weeks. Again, it goes until November 15th, and then I will send you your size of choice in an A.J. Brown green jersey. So jump in on this right now. Again, the links are down below. All the instructions are there. It's very, very simple. Just need proof that you did use my link and you did place a bet, and then you are entered for a potential chance to be one lucky, I should say, person of the first 25. These spots are filling up, those who jump into it here quickly. Okay, let's move over here really quickly to, in terms of rushing yards, it's very clear just how important Miles Sanders has been this year, but it also is very clear that no one else behind him has been really an effective runner. They haven't used Gainwell as much as they did last year. He only has 100 yards rushing. Like, your second leading rusher on this football team is Jalen Hurts, and that's fine. We don't have any issue with that, but you could mix in a Kareem Hunt and have a situation where Sanders could be a 1,000-yard back, Hunt could be a 500, 600-yard back, and you just give even more potency to already one of the most dangerous rushing teams in the National Football League. And so obviously we'll keep an eye on that. I think Philadelphia, if I had to be a betting man, will make a move for a running back, whether it is Nyheim Hines or it is Kareem Hunt. I don't know if they're going to go out and get a big name player like a Brian Burns that was talked about a couple of days ago. Talked about J.J. Watt, talked about Josh Allen. Those are all rumors and speculations, and I've laid out some ideas on why it could happen. But I think in the end, Philadelphia, if there is a move to be made in the next couple of hours, it's more for a Hines or a Kareem Hunt and not for a big name splash. But let's just be real. Does Philadelphia need to make another big name splash? No. I mean, they're sitting really good right now in terms of 7-0, potentially 8-0 if they go ahead and roll the Texans on Thursday night, as they probably should. So we'll keep an eye on this. Obviously, I'll have to do an emergency Thomas Mott show if they were to go ahead and make a move, and so be sure to subscribe to the show, because that's how you get the notifications that I did drop a new show, and when it's not at my normal hours here early in the AM. And go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. The more likes the show gets, the more YouTube enjoys that. So go ahead and give the show a thumbs up. All right, it is NFL Power Rankings on a Tuesday. NFL.com has your power rankings as we always look at. No change up here at the top, and I have some beef with this. So listen, the Bills are here at number 1, and they cruise past the Packers in prime time. They look really, really good, as we expected them to, and they have been over the past couple of weeks. But I don't know how you put a team with 1 loss over a team that is undefeated. And it's not like Philadelphia had kind of an Arizona Cardinals game they had a couple of weeks ago where they didn't get moved up in the rankings because, they didn't look great against the Cardinals. Didn't play a complete game, struggled in the third quarter, blah, 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 all the dumb stuff they say about the Eagles to not give them credit. They dominated, absolutely dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers 35-13. It was not even close. And I know the Steelers are not that good. I know the Bills already beat the Steelers, but I like my teams to have less losses than other teams. That's just a personal preference of mine. I don't know if you feel the same way about that. So the fact that Philadelphia is 2 behind the Bills, to me, is still dumb. I think you're looking at the potential Super Bowl matchup here. A lot can happen. There's no guarantee of that, but I think most people would say this would be your matchup. And I'll just say this right now, on November 1st, Philly matches very well with the Buffalo Bills. They can get pressure, and they have two good cornerbacks to slow down Diggs and Gabe Davis. Most teams only have one. That's why either Gibbs or Gabe Davis have a really good game against even the better defenses in the NFL. So I'm just saying they match up very, very well. Also, the Eagles run the ball well. It could be, keep away from Josh Allen sort of game where you run the ball for 200 yards. Josh has less possessions, and the Eagles dominate. So, just saying that. I would put them 1, but, whatever. NFL.com. Chiefs at 3, that's fine. I think Kansas City, the good news for the Eagles in terms of this is that you could see a Chiefs-Bills and AFC Championship game where the teams just beat up on each other, and then they're gassed for a Super Bowl. So, that's good the Chiefs are in the AFC. Cowboys at 4, listen, Dallas is good, and Dallas is going to be an issue coming down the road, but I just don't think their defense giving up 29 points is worthy of celebration. I know Tony Pollard looked very, very good. I would put San Francisco ahead of Dallas on the scary level because I would be more scared of San Francisco than Dallas, but I get the fact that one team is 6-2, the other is 4-4, and so you have to go ahead and, make the rankings, as I just said. The losses are kind of important. Okay, they go ahead and put the Baltimore Ravens at 6, who just traded for Roquan Smith. That was a good move in my opinion. Minnesota at 7. This is the whole secondary for the Vikings is not as scary as some other teams' secondaries. Dallas is secondary and Philadelphia's secondary. Tennessee at 8. This is going to be the toughest game remaining on the Eagles' schedule, I think. I think Tennessee is going to be really a chance for a loss if the Eagles are going to lose anytime soon. Philadelphia, again, matches up well, but Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. That's a very good football team. They've won 5 straight since starting 0-2. Seattle, pesky, not a real threat. They're sitting there at number 9. And the Bengals, last night, I would bump them out of the top 10. How can you keep the Bengals ahead of the New York Giants after what you saw the Bengals do on Monday Night Football? Yeah, the Giants lost, but now 4 for the Bengals. The Giants have serious offensive line issues, and no Jamar Chase for the next couple of weeks means they could be in some big trouble. Dolphins 12, New England 13, Jets 14, and the Rams rounding it out at number 15. All to say, as we end today's show, not a lot of good teams in the NFL. There are really 3 teams that you can really trust right now. Kansas City, the Eagles, and the Buffalo Bills. The rest all have bad losses. The rest all have issues somewhere on their football team. These are the big 3, and only one of them is in the NFC, and that is, I'll give you a hint there. It's this football team. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I keep an eye on the trade deadline. Follow me on Twitter, @RealThomasMott. That's the place to stay up to date. Notification bell, turn that on here on the Thomas Mott Show, because if there is a move, I will do an emergency show. I will get that out to you guys and break down whatever happens, so stay tuned for that. I'm Thomas Mott. Happy trade deadline day. See you guys in the next one.